Hey, what's going on everyone? Celio here from celio-ramos.com and welcome back to the channel. Here in the channel, we talk about automations that save time and generate revenue for small businesses. Today, I want to share an automation with you guys that does Instagram posts. You can do literally hundreds of Instagram posts, viral Instagram posts. You can create these posts using automation. And why do I say viral? Because we're gonna use content that is already validated, right? That is already well received in the marketplace on your specific niche. So hopefully this can help. Again, if you're not familiar with the channel, we're here to build automations, to talk about business, and to have fun. If you haven't liked it yet, please subscribe to the channel. Drop a like on the video because it helps a lot with the algorithms in the YouTube world. And let's jump right into it. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you so you can look at what I'm looking at. This automation is a 2-in-1, okay? I'm doing this automation in make.com. If you don't know Make, it's a no-code tool. Very simple, very easy to use. So you can use the link in the description to sign up to get your Make account. And this is a two-in-one, as I was saying. With this automation, we do two main things. We're going to scrape the transcript. We're going to get the transcript of our YouTube video. And based on that transcript, we're going to create viral Instagram content. We'll create the image and the post itself to post on Instagram. And the automation will take care of everything. So let me go ahead and go over that with you. I already built the automation. I already have it running. I am going to go step by step. I'm going to run one time so you can see how it works. And then we're going to go step by step, look into every single module and what was done to create that module. And then hopefully that can help you put this automation together for your business, okay? So the first automation I create a scenario within Make, and I called a YouTube transcriber to IG post, right? Because again, we're going to transcribe a viral YouTube video. Not as much as viral as much as viral as it is validated, right? I wouldn't call it viral. For example, I really like, my niche is in the car dealership, the used car dealerships, usually small to mid-sized companies, right? We help with companies leverage AI to make their operation more efficient when it comes to follow-ups, when it comes to service, when it comes to several other things. Excuse me. So I really like this guy's content. His name is Tame. His channel is Untamed Motors, right? He's been around for a while. His videos get a lot of views, get a lot of tracks. If you go take a look at home here, you see he has several videos that hit 1 million views. So you see he's well respected. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to the dealership game, right? So we're going to use one of his videos. I'm going to go ahead and let's get a recent one here. So he posted one 2 days ago. Excuse me, eight days ago. And it says, dealers are screwed. Used car values skyrocketed as new car sales plummet, right? So I'm going to click on this one here. I don't need to listen to the content. Let me just pause it. I'm going to mute because I'm sure you guys can hear that. And we're going to go ahead and copy the link. All right? Copy the link. And let me go ahead. And what we were going to do is simply add the link here to this automation, okay? How does the first automation works? The first automation is a YouTube transcriber. Now, on the automation I'm going to share with you guys here, there's a module that you won't find within Make because that module was developed inside of our community, our Skool Community. If you're looking to learn about automation, if you're looking to learn about AI and how you can apply in your business, and you want to join a group of people that is working with that, and getting their hands in the clay every single day to get awesome automations built, click on the link below and join our Skool Community, okay? You're going to get support. We're connecting every single day and talking about automations. So inside of our Skool Community, we developed this Ninja Armory YouTube transcriber. Now, this is a simple YouTube transcriber. There's other tools online. I'm actually going to share with you one of the tools that I was looking at here. So what I'm talking about is this module right here that you won't find. But if you go to, let's see, if you go to, where do I find one? Here, I already had it. Free YouTube transcriber. The first one, NoteGPT, right? You can use this one to put the YouTube video here and generate the transcript. And then you'd simply copy the transcript into a Google Doc, and you have what you need for the automation to do its thing, okay? But again, because we do have this beautiful module here, we're going to be using this module. I'm going to be using this module on this specific scenario, okay? Once the transcript is created, so you can see here, I already ran it. I'm not going to run one once again, but I ran it, and it's got the whole script. This is the transcript, word by word, for that YouTube video, right? It's a long YouTube video. And what we do with that transcript, now we need to give it to AI so it can do its thing, right? So it can do its magic. And I'm going to show you exactly what we did. So what you're going to do is, once you start your scenario, you're going to go ahead and add a module, right? And in this module, you're going to look for ChatGPT. And you need to choose create a completion from a prompt or chat, okay? I'm going to delete this because I have mine created here, and you linked with your first module. So what does this module, this OpenAI ChatGPT module does, right? It creates a completion, as I just read. So there's two things you need to do. You need to give it a row, right? You need to give it a row and two rows, the row of the system and then the user, how he's going to be handling that information. So the first one we developed, we select the row as a developer system, and then we tell what's the context. The context is the user will provide you with a YouTube transcription. We talked about that, how to get the transcription. And your job is to output JSON, 10 key takeaways. Your job is to output in JSON 10 key takeaways from the YouTube transcription, right? The output in the following JSON format. And why did we enter this format here? Because we wanted to have 10 takeaways. So it's going to be takeaway 1, takeaway 2, all the way to takeaway 10. If you want more takeaways, you simply change from 10 to 20 here, and you get 20 takeaways. Okay, I'm going to leave it at 10. I'm going to leave it as it is, and then you add, and you're going to have the option to do this right here. So add message, right? You're going to add a second message, and this time is a user, because the system, the developer, we talked to the developer and we said that the user is going to be giving information. So you simply select user, and then you enter the transcript here. If you have the transcript, the whole transcript, you simply paste the whole text here because it's text content, right? Because I'm using this module, I simply map it back to the module that I'm using, which is the Ninja Armory, okay? And I mapped it right here. So we simply select, so inventory levels right now, and boom, I click it here. That whole text is represented here now. And then I don't need anything else, right? I leave it as auto. Of course, I want it to be a response to be in JSON, right? And I want it to parse, okay? Everything else you can leave it the same. It's going to be max 2038 tokens. You're not going to use more than that. Leave it everything else as default, and then save. Okay. Once that is done, what did you do? We created a transcript, or we retrieved the transcript. With that transcript, we feed ChatGPT with a specific command, and ChatGPT is going to do its thing. Is going to do its thing to give us an output. Now, it could be as simple as entering that output into a Google Sheet, into an Airtable. And I'm using Airtable for this example. But to make sure that we get those 10 takeaways in different lines, we don't get all the content in one specific line inside of a sheet, inside of a table, we're going to add a iterator. What does the iterator does? It just distributes that array, right? So the results here, the iterator is going to look for the results on the ChatGPT model, and we want it to be right here, results takeaway, And this is what we need because it's going to get the takeaway and will map into the Google Sheet or Airtable. In my case, I'm using an Airtable. Airtable is simply a table. It's like a Google Sheet, a fancy Google Sheet to use. I have a link in the description as well. If you wanted to use it, it's free up to 1,000 rows or something like that. So you can create a lot of things before you start paying for it. Okay, and you connected. You're gonna go ahead and add and connect. Okay, I didn't talk about that. Let me go back a little bit and just mention this. To connect the module with your ChatGPT account, you're simply gonna add the connection, and it's gonna ask you for an API key. Okay, to work with this automation, you're gonna need the Plus account with ChatGPT. So it's $20 a month for image generation, right? And the API integration. So what you're gonna do, you go to platform. Which one is it? I'm gonna open for you. Platform.openai.com. So you're gonna see here, you're gonna have a dashboard, right? When you get, oops, I'm sorry, I didn't want to come here. So when you get to this, it's gonna ask you storage, and you go to where's my APIs? I don't like when they do that. Let me click here, sorry. Right, so you're gonna come in here, dashboard, and you go to API keys. It's very simple. So I have a few APIs here. You just create your key, and you're gonna go back to the automation and enter that key here. Once you do that, you save, and then you're connected. You'll be prompted to select a method. So we want it to be this one. It'll create a chat completion, right? And then the model. I'm just going to the most recent model here, 4.0, the latest system. Okay, that's what I'm using. Do they have 4.1 here? All right, they have 4.1 system. So I'm going to go with this one. Okay, 4.1. And then what we already talked about, right? You add two messages. You do two basic roles. The first one is the developer, the system. What is it going to do? And the second one is the user that is going to give that information to the AI. And we talked about what the information is. So I'm going to save that. Then we add an iterator because we know what needs to be done. Every time you want to generate information and you go into going to be kind of a line item, it's good to add an iterator so it puts every single item in a single line on your spreadsheet or table. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and open our Airtable here. Again, an Airtable is simply a spreadsheet. Nothing fancy, it's just a fancy spreadsheet. So if you know how to work a Google spreadsheet, you're going to know how to work in Airtable, okay? And what do you need to do? You also need to create a connection. I have a connection created here. If it asks you to create a connection, you just enter the Airtable oath, and then it walks you through the steps, okay? You're going to need an API as well. So you connect with Airtable. I have my connected already. Okay, we're not going to go through that. Again, you can simply do a a YouTube search, and you can see, someone can show you exactly how to connect. It's very simple. Okay, everything is done through API. So what do we have? Once you connect with your Airtable, you're going to select the base. The base is simply the, let me show you here. So if I go back to home, the base is one of these projects here, right? Okay, and once you select the base, it gives you an option to select the table within that base. So if I go back there, I have this one right here, which is Instagram post automation. You're going to see that the name is the same, Instagram post automation, and I want the table one, which is the only table in this Airtable, right? It's the only table I have. I don't have a second table here. Okay, so once that is done, what do? You're going to go ahead and it will pull from the table. It will pull the information that we have on. So we have a record, we have a takeaway, we have it published, right? And let's go back there and take a look at it. So here's what we have. We have the record number. This is created by the Airtable. Airtable, that's the nice thing about Airtable. Every single line, Airtable gives you a specific record. So you can work within your automation in the future, just reference to that record number, and we'll pull the information on that line. So we have takeaway, we have published, and then we have image, right? You go back to the automation, you have the record, you have takeaway, you have published, right? So what we want to do is You want to pull the information to take away. And the funny thing, you're going to see that this value here is black. And why is it showing as black like this? Because in the iterator, if you go here and you look at the output, or if you come here and you click here to look at the output, you will see that the iterator, which is number 3, doesn't really give you the takeaway. It gives you in bundles, right? Total number of bundle, order position. It doesn't give you the value separate, but we know it's here and we know the number of this module. So if you come here and you simply enter currently key 3, 2, and then value, and then you close, and you're gonna get the value from that specific module. That's all we need. Okay. Published, we want it to be empty. The fields that are empty on the spreadsheet. So let me go back there. Right? Published. The ones that are empty are the ones that you're going to consider. The ones that are not empty, it means it's already used and an image was already created, as you can see here. So I'm going to go back to the first part of the automation. I have everything. I simply save, and then you run. When you run that automation, you'll see that the output, see, I have 10 here, okay? Because I ran it in the past. I'm going to run one more time right now, and it should create only 6 because I have 4 checked out. Is that what I have here? Yeah, I have 4, so it should create 6 records, okay? Let's do that together. I want to go ahead and run this one time. Here we go. It pulled the transcript, right? Now it gave it to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is doing its thing. It's evaluating the transcript so it can create the 10 takeaways. So let's see. Oh no, we created 10 takeaways. No, it didn't create. I'm sorry, I misspoke here. On the Airtable, it's going to pull everything, right? Published, empty. Yes, because I should have said published if it says no, then pull it. But it pulled 10 takeaways, no problem. We have them all here. So if I go back to my Airtable, you see that it added new takeaways. You see? Now I have more here. It's not exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to finish that one, but you can see that it functions. So if you don't want things to mix up, just go ahead before you run the automation and clean your Airtable so you have fresh data in there. I'm going to be using them all, so there's no loss here because it's just ideas to generate posts on Instagram, right? So now that I have this created, I'm actually going to come here. I'm going to delete these because, again, I just want to demonstrate for you guys. So I'm just going to delete them. All right. So I have these in here, the ones that I had before. Then I'm going to go now. So this is the second. This is the first automation, right? As I said, this is a 2-in-1. We have the first part of the automation that does get the transcript from the YouTube video. Based on that transcript, we create 10 key takeaways. Right? And we're going to use those takeaways to create the content, to generate the image and the caption for the Instagram post. And how are we going to do that? We're going to go into the second automation. So you see I have here second automation is called YouTube Transcriber to IG post. It's just the second step. And sorry, I realized I wasn't sharing my screen. So, right, this is the second step of the YouTube Transcriber to IG post automation. So if I go back here and I look at my Airtable, the first automation finished with the Airtable. It ended with the Airtable being populated. The second automation will begin with the Airtable because we'll be getting information from there, and you will use that data to create what we need to create, which is the image and the caption. Okay, so what we do, you have an Airtable. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to make sure your connection is done. The good thing is that once you do that once in your Instagram, on your login, it's gonna be done. It's gonna always be done. You don't have to do every time you create a new module, right? So mine is already here. Again, is the spreadsheet. I keep saying spreadsheet, but is the Airtable that we want. Within that Airtable, you have table 1, and we want. It pulls that information that is in there, right? So we know we have a record, we have a takeaway, we have published, we have image. So we don't want to select anything because I wanted to pull everything, and I want to make sure that it doesn't pull anything. It only uses what is marked as 0. There's no content there, right? That's what this formula here does. This, it will indeed work in a way that it won't pull anything that is already checked out, that we already completed. And then the limit, I want the limit to be 1 because I don't want to pull all the 6 remaining records on the Airtable. I wanted to put just 1 at a time. Every time I run the automation, it just does 1 at a time. Okay, you could put more here. What it's going to do is going to create 2, 3, whatever number you put. It will create that many images and post at the same time. So I don't know if you really want to do that, right? We want to post throughout the day. So once that is done, you have the Airtable here, the limit, right? Column ID, no, we're not going to need that. And then you're going to go ahead and create another completion within ChatGPT. ChatGPT is just the LLM that we're using here, right? It's the AI that is getting the command and doing what it needs to do. It's the brain of the operation here as far as creating content. And it's the same thing. We just select your system, and then it tells you we're going to, again, add 2 messages for 2 different roles. The first one is the system developer message, and the second one is the user, right? What that user is going to be giving to the system so it can do what it needs to do. And we have this prompt here, right? You're a visual concept designer. Your task is to take a short quote, statement, or idea and convert into a detailed creative text-to-image prompt suitable for generating futuristic, cinematic, 3D, surreal image. It has instructions here. If you want a copy of this prompt, just let me know in the comments. I'll send it to you, no problem at all. But it's just a prompt that we use ChatGPT to develop the prompt, and then we just fine-tuned, right? So it has several things here. Talks about what we want. We give an example. Then we give a detailed, non-generated image prompt, how we want that image generated, and color scheme and some other things. It's gonna have kind of this look to it here right now. Let me go ahead and show you on my Instagram. So if I do, oops, here we go. So it's this kind of look, right? That's not it. This one is one of them, right? This type of look, this type of look. So that is what that prompt is giving us right now. So once I have that, so this is again, the developer system prompt. Once you have that, you add a second message for the role of the user right now. So the user is going to do what? The user is going to give the key takeaway to the system, and the system is going to do what we prompted the system to do. And where do you get the takeaway? You get from the previous module, which is the Airtable. Once that is done, so it would come here. If I would come here and delete this, I'll just click on it. It's like, oh, what do I need, right? What's the context here? What do I need to give as a user to the prompt? You're going to look at the takeaway right here. Used vehicle loans are often more expensive. So you just click takeaway. Don't need anything else. Just leave image detail, leave it on auto, and then save. So ChatGPT here is doing this measure. It's creating the image, right? Now we need ChatGPT to do an API connection. We need to do an API connection so it can, once the image is generated, because it's generating the image here, now we need to retrieve that information from ChatGPT, and we do that via an API connection, right? And ChatGPT on the docs, the supporting docs, tells you exactly what to do. You're just gonna establish your connection. It will already be established if you connected on the module. If you connected, or since you already connected your ChatGPT here, so you should be good. So what you're gonna do? ChatGPT tells us that this is the URL that we need to use, right? With OpenAI. ChatGPT OpenAI tells us in the supporting documents that this is the URL we need to use for the image that are being generated, right? So view 1 images /forward generation. That's what we need to do. The method is post, because we want to post that image. We want to retrieve that image and post it somewhere, right? And we wanted the content to be in JSON, and we have the body here. We create a string or query so we can give us what it needs to do. The model is ChatGPT. The prompt is going to replace the result for any empty strings, and the size of the image. Okay, again, I'm not trained on generating code all that information. I use ChatGPT, I use Grok, we use AI to help us create the code that we need. So you create that code, post it here, and save it. Okay. Once that is done, what we want to do, we added a variable, a set variable to this one, because we need to get this image now that we got from ChatGPT, and we need to turn into text, make it binary, so it's easy for the automation to work with it and do what it needs to do, right? Some modules, they're not going to work with a file, with a JPEG or with PNG or file. It has to be binary. So this is the formula we use for the data that we are acquiring, from the image that we're getting from ChatGPT. We're gonna turn this into a text. Once we turn that into text, we upload that image into Google Drive. I'm using Google Drive here because it's what I use for storage. So once that is done, you're gonna go ahead and create a new module, connect, and you can do, Google Drive is gonna let me do here so you can see it. So if I come here and I say I want to look for it, I simply do Google, oops, if I can type Google Drive, and it shows me right here, Google Drive, and then it gives me options, right? And what do I need for this one? For this one, I need to upload a file, because now we have this file and I want to upload it to the drive, to Google Drive, to a specific drive. So you're going to go ahead and connect, do your thing, then you're going to select your folder. So select from the list. That's what I want here, because I want to have something. And then my Google Drive, you just select your drive, and then you put whatever you want to put here inside of your folder. I have a place where these images are going, and then you can put a name here, or just leave as JPEG. It's really up to you. Or just put no name, just put image, okay? And then we want what data? The data from the variable, right? Which is the binary data of the image. So again, you click on it. If you go ahead, let me go ahead and do that again. If you click on here, it gives me that option. It tells me what modules I'm at. So this is the module that is blinking here right now. If I hover over this one, it starts blinking. So I'm over that one. I do not want that information. I want this information right here, the binary data. I go ahead and save it, okay? So we generated the image. We turned the image into text, right? Binary data. We uploaded the image to the drive. Now we need to do what? We need to share, update our Airtable with the image. So we need to share a link, basically share the link where that image is inside the drive. And to do that, you create another module, another Google Drive module, and this one is called Get a Share Link, because we all know how Google works, right? How Google Drive works. You can share the links, make it visible to everybody. Make sure that it is visible, that you when you share, you go and share and you make it visible to anyone, and you give access to anyone that has the link, because if the access is restricted, the automation is not going to be able to go in there and pull that information, right? So again, I have my drive here. I go ahead and select, I want a file, and I give it the file ID. Where do I find the file ID? In the previous module, because it pulled that information. So here it is, 6 file ID. So it's right there, okay? So if I click on that, it populates it. I already had it there. Then what do I need to do? Writer, it's like owner, just writer as far as the row, and then type anyone. It doesn't have to be group, it can be anyone, right? Allow file discovery, yes. And then say save. So that's what's going to do is, again, it's going to get the link from the Google Drive. It's as simple as that. When it comes to automation, you really have to think, and it's something that I'm getting better and better at, you have to think step by step. Because a lot of times we think that, AI is smart enough to figure this out. Yeah, AI is smart enough to do a lot of things. But when it comes to the automation, to take the next step, to know what to do, we have to break down the process so we can do what needs to be done. And when I mean break down the process, I mean step by step, okay? So with that being done, now we get this link. What we're going to do, we're going to upload or update our Airtable, right? We have the information we want it to be updated. If I go back to the Airtable there, you see it. The image is right here. So we want to make sure we get the link and it's shared on our Airtable, okay? So let's go back here, and what we're going to do, same thing. We are just, it says update a record. We want to update a record inside of our Airtable. We're not going to create, we're not searching for a record, we're going to update a record. It's already there. So select the base, select the table, and what you want to do. What is the record? I want to update the record based on the ID number, because Airtable, as I mentioned before, it gives us that information. So we're going to go ahead and select 2 here, which is from the Airtable, right? So I go all the way down there. It's like, oh, why not from the previous module? Because the previous module is not dealing with the Airtable. It's dealing with the Google Drive. I want to update a record within the Airtable. So I need to go back to that module, right? Which is module 2 here. So we're going to go here, and what record, record ID, where do I find that? Right here, the ID. I click on it, right? I don't want to do anything with the takeaway. I don't want it to be updated, so I leave it empty. And then I wanted to do what? The image. That is the image that I want updated on my Airtable. So I go ahead and use this link right here. So 6. Let me go back. This is the information. I want to go ahead and do 6 and web content link. That's the one you need to use, not web view link. Web content link. They're the same links, but for whatever reason, Make has this little quirks. You should know. Here you're kind of expected to know which one to use. So we played around a little bit, and we know to use the web content link. So once you click there, we'll populate this, and then the file name is asking for the file name, and you'll also find it right here, the name right there. Boom, and you click on it, and it selects it. Okay, let's see what else is asking for. It's not asking for anything else. You don't have to go advanced settings here. I don't have to do anything, so I'm going to unselect it and save it. So now the module is ready to update the Airtable. Once the Airtable is updated, what we need to do, now it's updated. Now I need to get that record again, right? And once I get that record, I need to give it again that image to ChatGPT. So ChatGPT can now create the content that we're going to specify within the create a completion module that we'll create right now. Okay? Oh, we'll create in a minute. So why did we enter? You ask, okay, after that you see a tool with sleep here. Why do we sleep? Why did we add this tool? Sleep 5 seconds. Because from this Airtable module is updating the record. We need now a module that will get that record for us so we can continue doing what we need to do and post it on Instagram. And we notice that if we leave these two here side by side, the automation starts acting up because not enough time. It's basically running almost at the same time. It didn't give enough time for the record to be updated on the table. Hopefully that makes sense. So we simply add a little tool here that's a delay tool, right? It sleeps the entire automation at this point here. It sleeps for just 5 seconds. Once that goes, then we go to the next one, which is the Airtable, and we need an Airtable right now to get the record that we need, so it can be fed again to ChatGPT for the final step, which is the generation of the caption for the image that we already created. And then we use a final module, which is the Instagram post an image module that will post that image for us and finalize this whole thing here. Okay? So again, you open this one and we want to get a record. So I already have it as get a record. And if you're wondering, okay, yours is already created, how do I get it from zero, right? From starting the module right now is always the same step. So you would have, let me go ahead and unlink this. So let me close here. I'm going to unlink this. So if I wanted to create a new one here, you just add another module. You see, you click on that and it gives you another module. And then you're going to click Airtable, and then it gives you the options of what you need here to finalize your automation. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. I'm going to go ahead and connect with this one because this is how I have it. And then we know we need a get a record module for Airtable, okay? So once that is done, again, your connection is already established. You know you're using this base, the Instagram post automation base, and then table 1, and what record we want to update. We want the ID, right? Is the ID record is asking you for an ID, for a record ID. So you simply connect as you've done it before with the module that has that information. In this case is the module, the second Airtable module in this automation, okay? With that being saved, now we have the data, we got that record, we need to feed it again to ChatGPT. See, ChatGPT is working a lot on this automation for us, right? We have to create completions. So this is the final completion that ChatGPT is gonna take the information that we are feeding it to so we can create the caption and the post for us. And it does it in the same way. You need a developer, you need a system, and then you need a user that will feed the information to that system. So that's what we have here when they say messages. What is the message that you want to send to ChatGPT here for it to complete? We want to send messages that basically share 2 rows. The first row is the developer, the system row. The second row is the user row. So here's the first one, developer system, and we tell it what it's going to do, right? You will receive a paragraph takeaway. Use that to create Instagram post captions, right? You are let me get this out of here. You are a social media marketing expert with 10 years of experience crafting engaging, high-performing posts. Copy for top brands. Use this exercise to generate and optimize captions to accompany the following. One thing that I want to say regarding, oh, sorry, you guys can see my here. One thing that I was going to say regarding these prompts is don't worry too much about how grammatically correct you need to be, because the AI understands what you're trying to say, right? Try to be as clear as possible, give as much information as possible as far as what you needed, what you wanted to do, but don't worry as far as making sure that you're being super clear, because it's intelligent. It knows what you're trying to accomplish. Then it tells you you must consult, know the tone of the voice and guidelines and response to create. You must write blah 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 blah. If you need this prompt again, connect with me on the comments, and I'll make sure I'll send it to you. And we have a lot of, we spent some time developing this prompt, right? So we'll create the image. We'll have consistency when creating the images, okay? When running these automations. So we have everything here. I was having an issue with it not creating the hashtags. It was adding the hashtag words, but it was not adding the sign, the hashtag sign to the post. So I'm going to take my time and look into that later. I'm already here at 37 minutes. I didn't want that to be so long, but we're almost done here. So I want to go ahead and save it. And once that is done, now what we need to do, we have the image, we have the caption for the post. Now we need to post it, finally post to the platform, right? So we chose Instagram. We're going to go ahead and choose and post it here to Instagram. So you just, again, you will find your module. To find the Instagram module is right here. It already shows. And then what you want to do, it gives you several options, right? So we want to create a photo post. That's what we want to do. So it's the one that I have here, create a photo post. Okay, so let me go ahead and delete this one because I don't need it. We're going to get on this one again, and then we make sure you establish your connection, right, with Make or Integramat, as it was called in the past. And once you connect, it's going to give you an option to figure it out your page. I have my page here. I want LeadFuse, and then what do I want? I want the photo URL. So I find the image. The image was created is over there on the Airtable because we updated that record with the image. Does that make sense? Now it's connecting. So that is done. We're gonna go 12 and we look for image, and here it is, image URL. This is what we need. So I'm gonna enter here image URL. Okay, it's done, and then it's asking for the caption. The caption is going to be created based on what content. It's going to be created based on the takeaway. So you have to enter the takeaway here, and you find the takeaway on the Instagram captions, the Instagram captions module here, that the completion that we created. So where is it? Let's go result right here. Think used cars save money. Boom. That's what we want. 7. So if I click here, there it is. 7 result. I just need it one time, and then you don't need anything else. You simply save. And this is it. These automations should be fully ready to be posted. So I'm going to run it, not to be posted, to be ran. So I'm going to go ahead and run it one time right now so you can see. And then let's see what I have on my Instagram right now. So on Instagram, I have this right now. This is the most recent post I have with this image used, created through AI as well, right? So we want to go ahead and run this automation right here. I want to go ahead and run it once, and we'll see what we get. And this is it. And you can do that an infinite number of times. So you can post as many times as you want throughout the days. You can create as many takeaways as you want from these videos, right? I imagine depending on how long the video is, you might have trouble generating ideas, or it might have trouble generating ideas if it's not a long format video. But with YouTube, for YouTube, for the most part, is a long format video, and you have the possibility to create several 20, 30, 50 takeaways is there. So that's what we're gonna do. Let me go back here. The automation is running. We're here right now. So it already generated the image. So if I go into my drive, you'll see there's a new image right here. See, I had this one already posted on my Instagram. So this image is right here. If I go back, now we have the second image. And what is this image? Let me refresh. You think I have some technical issues here, or is it because the automation didn't finish running yet? Maybe it's because the automation didn't finish running. Let's let it do its thing. We go back there. So it's telling me that it ran, right? Completely. See, I have a result right here. It gave me automakers, hit the brakes, right? Layoffs, blah, 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 blah. So what we're going to do, let's go back to Instagram. I'm going to close here. I'll refresh my page. And should be a ta-da. We got it. Ta-da! Here's the image, right? It's talking about demand down, production paused, future uncertain with the car dealerships right now in the auto industry. And the content says automakers hit the brakes. Layoffs and halted production signal a shifting industry ahead. What's next for car makers worldwide? And then, as I mentioned to you, I was having a problem with the hashtag here. So what I have to do is, let me go back. What I have to do is just click edit, since I'm here and monitoring it, and just add a hashtag. Make sure the hashtags are added to it. So add it here, add it here. Add it here, add it here, and add it here. And then we save. And now the post is complete. Okay, it's done on Instagram. The automation finished, and the automation was done. And we go ahead, and that's it. Hopefully this video brought you some value, showing what can be done as far as creating posts, generating ideas. I'm not the most creative person when it comes to generating caption and even images, right? Before you had to go into Canva, go into tools like Canva and PowerPoint or whatever you use to create your image, to create your content, and create these images in the first place. Now AI is kind of doing that for us. Of course, there's the school of thought out there that doesn't like working with these AI generated images. I think it's about creating images that get people's attention and share your value, what you do for the marketplace. I'm generating images to talk to, not only images and posts, to talk to small and medium-sized car dealerships, right? We know that they can use automations to help them with lead management, with content creation. So that's what I'm focusing on here. Maybe you are focusing on a different niche, and whatever the niche is, AI is going to be able to help you so you can be more productive and also more creative, right? Because there's no limit to what it can do. The limitation is what we offer, is the prompt we generate and give to it so it can do its thing. Okay? If you're still here with me, thank you so much. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to be creating and sharing more content about automations, AI, and business. We have a mission to help 100 small businesses by the end of the year and help them with what? With automations. We want to help them save time and generate revenue generating automations, right? Revenue generating automations in their business to help with lead management, to serve more customers, and ultimately grow their business. Again, my name is Celio. Thank you for your attention, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.